Good morning. Welcome to your 3-card pick a card reading here at the Art of the Oracle. If you're new to the channel, my name is Virginia. I do a daily card reading Monday through Friday to tap into the energies of the collective to see what we need to know on any given day. Now, I love doing 3-card pick a card readings, but because of the technical issues that I had, I kind of stopped doing them for a minute. And I'm really delighted to have those issues resolved and moving forward. And one of the things that I had to do is let go of my old internet and bring in a new internet. And that new internet became, oh my gosh, it's so much faster. Feels like magic in my world right now because I do a lot of work on the internet. I work as a biofield tuning practitioner, so I'm an energy intuitive. And so I do a lot of sessions that are remote, around the world. I'm very, very thrilled to be doing work like that. And internet is so very important. So we're sitting with these energies today, and I've drawn cards from Krans Archetype to bring us in. And that's the overarching theme of whatever each one of the readings are. And then within each reading, we're going to get into duality. We're going to get into what it is that we need to let go of, like my old internet, and what is, when we let something go, it leaves the space for something new to come in. And we all know that this is a time of really beautiful change and transformation. So those are the two different energies that we're sitting with. But this is your overarching theme going into each one of the readings. And all I did was sit with the energy of the cards and ask for a card for each one of them. I've also brought out a symbol that can help you choose. Now, feel free to choose all of them if you feel like something might resonate with you, or sit down with a question and then go to a particular reading. If you have a second or third question, then you can choose that way. So let's dive in and see what we have. The first card that we have here is the Father, which is card number 2. And then we have the Raven. And this is an obsidian raven. And then for reading number 2, we have 28 and the Shadow, along with Turtle. And then for reading number 3, we have card number 52 and the Tear. And this is with Crystal Dog. So those are the 3 readings. Take a moment, sit with the energy, sit with your questions, and let's dive into each reading. All right, welcome back to your reading number 1. So the 2 things that we have going in here is we have the Father card. So this is number 2. And as you know, it takes 2 people to create each person. It takes 2 different energies. So there's something about the duality of what the Father brings in. It also brings in, patriarchal energy or nurturing energy, depending on what kind of father that you had, whether you had one that was available or whether you had one that was absent. That energy is sets the tone really of how you perceive the masculine energy, whether you are very outwardly and feel like you have to do everything and create everything yourself, or whether you feel very nurtured by your family situation and you look at the masculine as a supporter, someone that really holds space for you to grow and expand. And so that's the overarching energy that we're bringing into the space. Now, the raven, the obsidian raven, tells me that there's some sort of magic that lies within the creation of those 2 energies that came together for your creation and your family. Whether the energy is a father, mother, or the dynamic that you have with your father. So we're going to dive into each one of the cards and find out what that is. The interesting thing when I went to Krans and just, looked at what she has written for that is one of the things she said is that even if you grow up in a family, like some people didn't have a father around, so they feel like the masculine is very absent in their life. They could be searching for a relationship that creates the stability that they never had. Or you can have a father that was really just so magical. You want a partner in your life that represents the same kind of energy that your father represented. Either one of those is that what we see is that the father is part of the divine creation, and yet each one of our parents are an element. They're part of the human construct. So there's a humanity within it. There's a magical aspect of it, whether, like I said, that you felt like he was really great, but then you realize that no matter which way that you choose, whether he was a horrible father or whether he was an amazing father, is that they were here for a purpose. And that's the magic that I think the Raven is bringing in. They were here. If he was absent, it's what you wanted. Now, I know that's hard to hear because it's like, why would I want a father that wasn't absent? Well, you would want a father that's not here because it builds your ability to be independent and strong in the world. And if you had a father that was very loving and nurturing, it's what you wanted because you know, maybe you didn't have that in a previous life, and it brings out the foundation of that. So let's dive in. We're going to look at the energy of what it is that we're releasing. What are we letting go of at this time? And I love that there's duality here in this card because it's showing two sides, which is exactly what we're looking at in this reading. What we're going to bring out the Kali Oracle to ask, what is it that, oh, isn't that interesting? And oh, I love that. So these cards were at the bottom, and these are the cards that tell us information about the Oracle deck, and it opened up so we could see these two cards. It separated the deck and these cards. So we're going to take these two cards here for your message today. Now, the first thing that I want to look at in Kali, you can also see this could be representative of the mother father. Like it could be ancient information, like ancestral. It's like the father is more than the father. The father is everyone that came before him, as is the mother. But there could be something within that line that could be why he's your father. Is there something in the energy and in that line? So with the first card, a predestined series of events is due to occur according to divine timing. This has been orchestrated at a higher level to integrate the past of people with whom you have soul contracts in this lifetime. So trust in the doors that close just as much as the doors that open. Isn't that interesting? That's exactly the energy that we're going into, is that we're letting something go and we're opening. So Kali is here to let you know that there's some ancestral predestined information that whatever is letting go, try not to resist it, because that's exactly what is meant to happen. Because whatever is closing or whatever is opened is meant to happen. I think that's really beautiful energy. I'm going to bring it down here because I feel like it's part of both. And this is a very, it's kind of a brutal image when you look at it, but there's significance to it. It's about cutting off like the thoughts and the way you're thinking. So the thing that we have to let go of here is, in order to grow, the soul may need to separate itself from that which it once relied upon. So one of the things that we started here was the Divine Father. And I'm actually going to put this up here because I feel like it is very important. This message here about us opening and closing doors and not, resisting that and trusting in everything that's happened, I think is very important. And with that, the thing that it's asking us to let go of is that, something that we relied upon. It could be the father energy. It could be this, the old thoughts and feelings around who your father was. Like, if he was the bad guy in the family, and it's asking you to let go of that, or if he was the godlike figure, whatever it is, I think that's part of it. It's asking you to let go of what you feel the masculine energy has been in your life. Do not cling to what has been. Sometimes the best way to heal from the past is to cut off completely and focus on inner regeneration and reorientation towards a more fulfilling future. You shall know true love and freedom. So this card is asking you to let go of the past, to let go and heal from what perhaps didn't, serve you. So let's get some more. We're going to the dragon energy, and that's the one for you. And the dragon energy is the confidant. Well, look at that. There's a really big energy. And as I set with this energy, again, the 2 and the 7, and it creates 9. It's like the cycle. What I'm hearing from this is perhaps that you were relying heavily on somebody that you felt like you needed to be able to feel stable. Is that a father figure for you? Is there, so the card itself says that there are times to hold your deepest truth within your molten core, meaning that you don't, some things you need to sit with for a while before you confide in them. Because whenever we take our personal information and we give it to someone else, their interpretation of it can be incredibly helpful and it can be incredibly destructive, both of those energies. It says to make sure that when you're giving out information that you trust the information, the person that you're giving it to. This is sacred information, and not everyone is going to give you information that's valuable. It just is the way things work in life. So I think something around this father energy where we started, and something that is asking you to really let go in. And I feel like there's somebody in your life that you've been confiding in, because it's coming right next to all these. And I feel like it could be a masculine figure, whether it's a woman who's very aggressive or whether it's a man in your life. It's like there's a masculine energy that you've been confiding in, maybe too much, because I feel like it's kept you kind of stuck to something and not allowed you to really spread your wings and grow in a way that feels nurturing. Okay, so let's see what other energy we want to bring out. I feel like we're going to go to the spirit mamas. Since we have all this masculine energy right now, we're going to ask for a little bit more information about what it is that we need to let go here. Yeah. Okay, so it's asking you to explore. So one of the things is that when this is diving deep, this is the feminine, this is the emotional energy of going into deep within you to understand, like, why do you have these attachments that you have? Do not cling to that which has been. So that's what it's asking you to do, is to really go within your heart and find out, why do you have the attachments that you have? Why do you feel the need to pour your heart out to people that maybe are not very helpful for you? And so we're going to go to Sacred Creators. And in this deck, it's all about words. So let's ask for more information about this energy that we need to let go of. And how is it? Okay. Oh, look at that. I love that. You are living poetry. So what that says to me is that you have this creative aspect and this creative emotional side. And sometimes, especially if you're a poet, sometimes poetry is misunderstood a lot of times, right? We pour our heart out into things, into people, into projects that don't really deserve it sometimes. And poetry is such a beautiful gift. So what I'm getting from the beginning of this reading here, and the things that it's asking you to be aware of, to let go of, to open space for new creation is that you have this beautiful creative soul and spirit. The depth of who you are is magic. It's like poetry, and you feel so deeply. You might even write poetry, right, to help you pour out all this emotional element and aspect of yourself. But if you're confiding into people that are a little bit harder, and you know what I mean, you feel like you're kind of hitting into rocks or breaking through rocks, it can kind of leave you a little bit in a space where you feel like, it's asking you to ask yourself, if that's the case, then why are you doing it? Why are you continuing to fight for your limitations? Meaning that you're giving your energy to people that don't deserve it. And all they're doing, a lot of times is not really appreciating fully who you are. And I think that you have a lot to offer, and that you're a very emotional person. And, depending on your father, I feel like it could have something to do with your childhood and you not being heard as a child, not having a voice, and then therefore your heart got a little bit wounded. I know that was the case with me. I was like, and it took me years to figure that out, that all I really wanted to do was to be heard. And through poetry, that is a way to be able to heal that. So that's an aspect that I think this is in reading number 1, what we're asking to let go of. So let's find out what is the energy that we are bringing into the space here. And I'm going to go back. Let's see what cards that we have. I have a lot of decks here, so please forgive my hands here as I go through. So what are we stepping into? We're going to use the journey and find out what is the energy that we're stepping into here. I haven't had these cards out in quite a while. So thank you. For reading number 1, what is the energy? Okay, so yeah, so it's asking you to set up new boundaries. This is around your heart. It's green. You have an opportunity to really take your power back, and that's what I feel like it's asking you to do, because it is the first card coming out is all about your boundaries. It's asking you to set up clear boundaries that perhaps you didn't have in the past because you gave away too much of yourself. And then we have these beautiful cards around growth and gratitude. And so as you set up boundaries, the first thing it's going to do is you're going to grow, because that's what it feels like that you need here, is that you need boundaries to be able to allow your heart to open up fully. So the letting go of needing to be with toxic people or people that don't help you and things like that is the biggest part here of the thing you need to let go. When you do that, it's going to, setting up these clear boundaries is going to bring in people that really appreciate who you are. And in that appreciation, and you feel more secure about who you are, it's going to allow you to grow in ways that you didn't even know you needed to grow in. So let's ask for the dragons once again to show us new energy of like what we're bringing in. Yeah, the fire bearer. This is about your creative power. This is about having the power that you need through this dragon energy as you set up these boundaries. It opens the world when you feel safe, secure, and you're not, like fighting for attention from somebody that doesn't really appreciate you. You step into your true creative power. So let's go back into the cards. Okay, so this card popped open as I moved, and it's all around money. So if there's something around, part of this disempowering and this giving yourself away also creates a barrier to money. It creates this feeling of lack and limitation. And when you set up these proper boundaries and allow yourself to spiritually grow and step into your power, money is part of that. Money is power and freedom. And so, yeah, fertile ground. Isn't that beautiful? So this is around your solar plexus chakra and bringing in that energy where you really feel like you're, this is about taking care of yourself, your inner light. You really feel nurtured. You feel like the water, like everything feels good. Like if your body has felt like it's been, not feeling well. Well, when you give yourself away and when you're in that feeling of lack and limitation and those kind of things, of course, your body is going to show that to you. It's going to show you in ways that really maybe you haven't been feeling well, or you're tired, or these kind of things. Set up these clear boundaries, allow your spirit to grow in a new way, have gratitude for that new growth, have gratitude for what's coming into your life, step into your power, and then let the ground become fertile and things. So we're going to ask for a spirit animal or 2. It's funny because we have 4, so I'm going to take all 4. These 2 are the 2 that's asking you right now. This is Miracles Are Endless, card number 15. Let's see if can we see these down here? Card number 15, and bringing in a gentle touch. Yeah. So these 2 cards right here are talking about now. So the cards that I'm going to reveal these at the end because we're going to draw a little bit of tarot right now and finish up your reading. So the cards that we're going to bring in are the Light Seers Tarot. So in this reading, what are the final messages around what we're letting go of and what we're bringing in, please? Okay, So these are the first cards. Yeah. So look at this. So we have the Nine of Swords. This is staying up all night, worrying about like thoughts of what other people think, or you're trying to control a situation, or you feel like people don't love you, these kind of things. This is this very highly emotional area. And it's usually going around and around in your head, and it doesn't make you feel good. So you want it to stop, but you don't know how. And this is the thing that you need to let go of. And then when you let go of this energy that has kept you kind of stuck, and because swords is around communication, this confidant energy where you're trying to, you know, maybe get the energy from the masculine that you didn't have. So you give yourself parts of you because all you want to do is to be loved. So you give parts of this away. And because you don't value yourself in a full enough way, it creates this like sadness within you. But as you let this go, the fertile ground for money, for you to feel good about yourself, again, this passionate energy, possibly bringing new love into your life. If it's not a loved one, it could be that you already have a loved one, and that whole respectful energy is coming in for you now. Like it's going to be able, look at, like you're seeing each other in a new way. It's instead of having this toxic energy that you feel like you're confiding in people that aren't really nurturing you, you're mutually supportive of each other. So let's see, is there any more energy coming in for reading number 1? In the Light Seers Tarot, reading number 1. Okay, let's see what this energy, yeah. So the Five of Cups, this again is this energy around letting go of like the things that, this is a kind of like it's telling you that you need to change from pouring your emotions into people that don't deserve you, diving deep within and giving yourself like attention. So as we let that 5, that's all about change. And then so let's bring some more, like what are the steps? What is energy to move into? Yeah. Again, as you can see, this is new love. And it could be the ability to see yourself in a new way. It could be the ability for somebody else to come in after a time. You know, when you open your heart and you start feeling really good, you actually attract other good things in your life. So let's take a look. Yeah, trust the divine detours. That's where the card started here in the beginning. Predestined series of events is due to occur according to divine timing. So trust in the doors that close just as much as the doors that open. And that's what this card is saying, is that there are divine detours that are coming into your, and then look at that. And because of these divine detours, let's see, I don't think you can see that. Because of these divine detours, it's bringing in this luck, this money, so don't think, like, let go of these sad things that you're trying to hold on to. Let go of that feeling of loss of the person that, you know, you thought was going to be the person that was going to be around you forever, or that, you know, the energy that you were feeling like your father didn't fulfill for you. Let all of that energy go. That's what needs to go, to set clear boundaries of what you're willing to live with. So when you do that, you empower yourself, you create miracles, you are kinder to yourself. You can start nurturing yourself and not feeling the need to get it from somewhere else, and allow this loving spirit to come in, whether it's from another person or the ability to really love yourself. But there is some sort of something letting go and coming in to create a new sense of fertility within your life, where you really feel finally like, I'm getting the thing that I've always wanted, or I'm getting that love that I always wanted, or the money, or whatever it is. So reading number 1, thank you so much for being here. I feel like your reading is complete. So I'd love to hear from you, what you thought of the reading. And I am asking everyone, if they have a question, they can leave it in the comments, and I'm compiling them for a fun reading where I'll answer questions during the reading. So until then, have a beautiful day. Bye now. All right, reading 2. Welcome to your reading. All right, so let's dive into what we have. We have the Shadow, which is card number 28. Now, it's interesting because every card in the deck has kind of like a light. If you're familiar with the deck, it has kind of like an illuminated side and a shadow side, meaning the like what is the positive. And it's very interesting that we're talking about this because the reading itself is around like what you're letting go of and what you're bringing in. And a lot of times when you look at what the shadow is, it's like, okay, we're letting go and getting rid of the bad and bringing in the good. So get rid of the dark and bring in the light. And there's an aspect to this card that is telling you, and this is the overarching theme for your reading, no matter whether you're bringing it in or letting it go. The thing is sometimes there's a little bit of a twist where you think you understand the thing, and the thing that you're trying to get rid of is that thing that you can't be a part of is the shadow elements. Like, why can't you sit with that energy? One of the things that I've realized as I've gone through all of the different layers and levels of learning within my own world and my own life is that there is no aspect of you that's bad. There's no thing in your life that happened to you that created you as a victim. There, no matter what happened, there are some horrific things that have happened in the world to really beautiful people. And when we can take a look at those bad things, I'm going to say, in quotes, the bad things, when we can look at the bad things and no longer be attached to the story of it, to the outcome and to the feelings of it, it creates the opening for a new awareness about the thing and a new awareness, a new enlightenment in yourself entirely. So I'm going to read a passage of in this book that it says right here. It says, let's see, rather than getting to know the qualities and content of our shadow, we busy ourselves with avoiding its presence altogether. This is denial. When the card appears, it's time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with no, anything but that, you're touching the shadow itself. So find support for this deep inner work and move toward the shadow with patience and compassion. So it's that thing. So there's some aspect here in this reading that's asking you to take a look at that thing. So this is all about like what we're letting go of and what we're bringing in. But I feel like that maybe the thing that you're trying to let go of is the lesson in itself. And before you can let go of it, you really have to understand what it is. That's why it's asking you to really dive into it. And it's really interesting that you have this. This is a little turtle. It's a whistle that I brought back from Peru. I'm not hearing the whistle right now. But isn't that interesting? Yeah. So not hearing this song, not hearing this sound. And I think that that's what's important in your reading is that you're not hearing the message. You're not really getting the gist of whatever it is that the shadow itself has created for you. The turtle is kind of a slow moving energy, but it's a very wise, ancient energy. It's an energy of being very, very in tune with the earth itself. It's very close to the ground and it holds like its home. Everything is very closely contained within the energy of the turtle. And because I can't get this whistle to whistle right now, it's telling me that part of this shadow element is something that it's really ingrained within who you are. It's a shadow element that it's very close to home, meaning that it probably happened very early on in your childhood. The thing that you have been, pushing against, saying that this thing happened in my childhood and I'm not going, that's no longer part of me, or pushing against that type of person or whatever. There's a lesson within that, and that's what we really want to look at right now. So the first card that I want to bring out is Kali, about what is this energy that we're letting go of? What is the energy okay, isn't that interesting? This is the exact same card that came out in the first reading, and it's kind of like an overarching theme, which I'll read it to you as well. As you can see, there's two elements here. And what it is, a predestined series of events is due to occur according to divine timing. This has been orchestrated at a higher level to integrate the passive people with whom you have soul contracts. That's what I was feeling like, is that whatever element that you're dealing with has been with you for a very, very long time. Trust in the doors that close just as much in the trust in the doors that open as a result for the closing. So one of the reasons why I loved this so much when it came out is because that's exactly what this reading is about. Is like, what are we letting go of? And it's saying that predestined, that whatever it is that you're dealing with, that thing, like let's say you had an abusive father and you're like, I can't forgive him, I can't let go. There's a lesson within the shadow of that is asking you to look at, because if you can't forgive that aspect of you, which your father is part of you, right? You have his DNA. It's the inability to forgive an aspect of yourself. You don't have to agree with whatever happened. You don't have to condone whatever happened, but there's an element that you have to like let go of the energy around. Let's see. I think that, okay. So I was going to say, I think that that's probably it, but apparently not. So Kali has more to say. So this is about what is coming in after this is released. It says, relief shall come swiftly. Soon you will see things differently. You're going to be liberated from the struggle you are currently experiencing. Be true to yourself and your life path, and you will attract the way forward. You will overcome all opposition, be released into improved circumstances, and be supported to bring your sacred path fruition. Yes, this is telling you that a predestined event is about ready to, like, something is leaving so something can come in. And that's what this is. This is the lotus flower rising from, and you probably had just horrific things that are attached in your life and you feel like you can't let go of them. The inability to drop the reins or the story or whatever it is keeps it alive within you. It doesn't push it away. And then the other one is, we may yearn for circumstances to unfold according to our personal preferences, yet to trust divine timing, which is what this card initiated. Alleviates stress and fosters a more peaceful relationship with the universe. Even the right thing cannot attain fruition at the wrong time. A negative cycle is due to end and a new dawn shall arise. Okay, so that is exactly what this card is saying. It's like things are going to be let go of, but don't like push against those things, needing them to happen at a certain time, because it's asking you to really be aware of the timing and know that whatever it is, it's predestined, and everything that happened and occurred in your world is something that was meant for your sacred mission, whatever it is that you were doing here. Let's see if that's coming in. Okay, so we're going to go to the dragons for the love of dragons and see what the energy is. The playmate. Okay, so the playmate is an energy. I'm going to go to the guidebook, but the energy that I'm getting that is very light, and it could have been something that you have to release, something that happened at the time when you were very young. That's what I'm getting from the playmate card. Let me see what the energy around this card is stating, because this is around what we need to let go of. So it says, joy is expansive and you want to feel vitality, refreshed, and recharged. We don't stop playing when we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. So there's some aspect either, and I'm going to draw some more cards around it, where you have been, either too playful or not playful enough, right? Like there's some sort of element. I'm going to draw more cards around it so we can put it into context. Yeah, look at this. So this is solar plexus energy. This is the sun energy around who you are and lighting up and nurturing. So this is around playful energy. And so what I'm feeling is there's some aspect that possibly happened when you were young that allowed, like, where you didn't feel this safety. You didn't feel connected in a way that like nurtured who you were. Let's find out from this Sacred Creators card to find out what wants to come in. It says, integrate your knowing and you are the light. So you're this beautiful light being, And this is the card of light, solar plexus energy. And it's around this energy of vitality and nurturing who you are. And through everything that you know, it's really interesting because this is in the things that we're looking to let go of. But it started here with an element around the shadow and us not really looking at those things. So the way that I'm looking at this reading right here is there was an element that happened probably as maybe you thought, maybe something happened while you were at play, when you were dancing and being in your own light, and you feel like you can't express yourself in this way because you associate this lighthearted energy with that thing that happened to you when you were a child. And it's stopping you from moving forward. So I'm going to go to the second set of cards here and ask, what is it that we need to bring in? And then possibly all of this will start coming through in a little bit more clear way. So we have these and what we should bring in. Let's go back here to this, to the divine feminine energy, and ask, what do we need to bring in? Look at this. Yeah, the inner child. So that's what I'm feeling, is that something happened when you were a child, that you were this lighthearted child, that you just were this beautiful being, and something happened that kind of feels like it dimmed your light a little bit. And it's asking you to go back to that childhood. Don't stay in whatever it was that happened to you. And if that isn't resonating with you, this may not be your reading. But there is some sort of element here around this playfulness, perhaps that there was an accident that happened between children while you were playing, and you were, in this really beautiful moment and this thing that happened, but it's either wasn't your fault, or there's an aspect around letting the old energy go that's tied up around it. So let's ask for more dragon messages and find out, what do we need to bring in the Sunstormer. Okay. As you can see, it's very interesting. There's a lot of light around this reading. And I feel the energy, almost like angelic energy around here, because what I'm feeling is there's a shadow element that you don't want to deal with. Maybe you're one of these people that always has a smile on their face and always says beautiful things and never talks bad, but there's this inner child that still doesn't feel like it can come out and play. Like the face or the facade or the mask that you put on is really, it's like it's not being allowed to really express itself. It's just, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like the element of you as a child. Sometimes when things went wrong as a child and we were told to sit down and be quiet, or you can't cry, or whatever it is, it's like there's a facade that gets created because we recognize that that's not part of us. Like we're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to have, to be sad, or we're not allowed to talk about that thing or whatever in our life. The Sunstormer is about having enough energy to move forward. And it's very beautiful colors that are around here that's also mimicked in this energy. And there is something about the energy within you and the feeling that maybe there was an aspect that kind of didn't allow you to feel like your own inner light shine again. Right? I don't know if you have, kind of what I'm hearing is like maybe you had, friends that were make-believe friends, or that you had a friend that you were really close to that got taken away from you. But some aspect of you, like a playmate, like somebody that you really loved, maybe you were so close to this person and you really were very happy, and then you had to move, or that person had to move, and it kind of tore away some aspect of you. And you've always put on a good face and made it, maybe because you moved a lot and you had to put on a happy face. And so there's an element around that that is kind of asking you, it's the thing itself that you need to let go of. Maybe you need to, you know, be sad for a minute and not, because this is all around, you know, how your inner child works. And children always know the truth. And so if something happened that you felt like you couldn't express yourself, that's what it's feeling like, is that there's all this happy energy and this happy face that you've put on. And the energy around you now is asking you to look at that thing that hurt you and allow yourself to be sad and to release that old energy so you really can, like, let that inner child play again and be happy again, and then step into this power around the sunstormer, because there's a lot of light energy here. So let's go into the journey card and ask for, what are we stepping into? Okay, look at that. Okay, so this card also kind of separated itself. So isn't this interesting? You are the light, you are enough. And look at this, light in the dark. And it's very interesting. It's kind of mimicking this literally, like there's the shadow, there's the shadow, there's the light, there's the light. And so this is a really important, very, very powerful time for you, where you have an opportunity to really sit in the dark, in the shadow of that thing that really hurt you, and feel it. When we have an opportunity to heal something, before we can heal it, we really have to, what this began is we really have to face it. I work in energy therapy, and one of the things that is prevalent among everyone is the energy that we can't deal with. We package it up and we store it away somewhere in our energetic field. And it creates imbalances and sickness and all these things. And it literally like distorts our field and changes the flow of our life because we're trying not to feel that thing, right? And this one is a hidden card that I'm going to bring out in a moment. I'm going to wait until, what do we have here? Yes, so we have the inner child. Yeah, I'm going to bring out the animal spirits and ask for more information. So you literally are the light in the dark. But the reason why you have the shadow element is you are, and you can, when you face the things that were hard for you to deal with as a child, you create the light for other people to see that they can face their light as well. It's very powerful and it's a beautiful opportunity. And this is the energy you're stepping into, but you have to a predestined series of events. So maybe you have to face the person that, you know, maybe it's a father figure or a mother figure or some aspect that you feel like was bad in your life that created the shadow element. Maybe it was a cousin, or maybe it was an event, or maybe it was a town. Whatever it is, it's created an element that perhaps you don't want to face. And in facing it, you're going to help others face it as well. So what are the animal spirits telling us? Okay, so the first card coming out is 31, time to let go. Okay, so it's exactly what we were talking about. It's time to let go of the things. And look, that's a very light, happy card. And what's interesting is they're holding this little heart here, right? So something that I feel like really broke your heart as a child. I mean, this is a very like beautiful image here. And yeah, but it's asking you to kind of let go of this old pain or this old hurt or this old childish way of being. What are we going to step into? So, seahorse, watch and wait. Isn't that interesting? So it's asking you, where am I going to put this? I kind of feel, so this is card number 53. And I feel like it needs to go right here because it's in like a potential spot. It's in a spot that is saying that you're going to see something that's going to come. I feel like there's one more energy around. Yeah, okay. There's something that is just going to come in, but it's not going to come. It'll come in anyway because it's predestined. But either it's going to be easy and you'll integrate something that's very powerful that all of a sudden I think it's going to illuminate it's going to open your heart up to a new awareness on some level. So it says magic works through you. Yeah, so when you let this thing go, it allows the magic to come in. So we're going to go to the Light Seers Tarot, and then we're going to ask for any final, what are the final messages around this reading? We've had tons and tons of messages from the oracles. What are the, to close up the reading for pile number 2, what is the information here? Okay, so there's some cards right there. Look at that. Yeah. So it's going to open up your heart. This is around really being in control of your heart. And then new energy. This is bringing in a new light source, literally, to who you are. It's going to bring in, and what was this final message that we had that, wow. And I feel like this is a hidden element because it didn't want to be revealed. And then when I tried to turn it over, it fell to the floor and it fell face down. So synchronicities, yeah. So something is going to happen unexpectedly in your life, creating a new focus on your energy, opening up your heart. If you've wanted to be in a relationship, it could be an aspect of you or someone else coming in because it's right around magic. And I feel like this is the magic working through you. And this masculine energy, we have divine feminine and masculine within us. So there's something about this masculine energy that is going to open your heart and allow you to move forward in a new way, creating and opening up this kind of painful and letting go, and let this childlike energy come back in. This is like similar energy here. It's opening up this energy for you to now create and to move forward. But you have to know that you're enough, and whatever it was where you felt like you had to put on a happy face all the time is not, it's just denying the shadow element that, and it's asking you to really face that element. So trust in the doors that are closing and the doors that are opening. Relief shall come in swiftly. And it's telling you to let that time kind of unfold. That's the watch and the wait card. They're both, it's like, just do the work and then let the universe unfold what needs to unfold. So thank you so much. I feel like your reading is complete. Thank you so much, reading number 2, for being here. And if you have any, I hope you give it a thumbs up if you have any questions about the reading, or if you'd like to add questions to the compilation for a reading where we're going to do a Q&A and we're going to pull cards and answer some of the questions for you on future readings. So yeah, so add any of those to the comment section. And until next time, I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye now. Right, reading number 3. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so you have the tear. Look at this beautiful image here. And there's gold here. And the reason why I think it's held in this green teardrop is because something that really broke your heart, perhaps you weren't allowed to fully express. So you see a lot of darkness here, right? In the eye, which means that there is a lot of something that you saw that broke your heart, something that didn't allow you to really fully let go of something, like something really hurt. And because you have this beautiful little crystal dog here, it could have been that you had a loss of a pet recently, or maybe it's a symbol of, one, it's clear. It's like you lost the clarity around something. Or the companionship. Maybe you lost somebody that was very dear to you and you just have not had a chance to fully integrate that, or to really cry over. Maybe you felt like you didn't have time to really grieve the things that happened. So there's an element or an aspect to this tear around that. And this is the overarching theme that is going on here in your reading. So, which means that no matter what you're letting go of and bringing in, there's an aspect that's saying that it's very, very important for you, for this transformative time, for you to go through this process. So I'm going to read a little bit of what she says here in the guidebook. It says, through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we are reminded of their eternal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to really be held. It is likely this card appears when there's a grieving yet to do, a sinking down into the disappointment or despair that once acknowledged will bring a shimmer of clarity to your dewy eyes. Like, if you think about the tear itself, it is this beautiful, we cry when we're happy, we cry when we're sad. It's this deep, what the Kim Krans said in there, a deep embrace of the thing that happened, whether it was happy or whether it's sad. It touched you so deeply that it created this inner well of emotional burst. If you think about what happens when a cloud fills, right, and it has to release and let go of the rain, and then the sun comes out, but that the release has to happen for the next thing that happens. So there's some aspect around that that's going on right now with you. So let's go to Kali and find out what is the energy to let go. And you got 2 cards here. We may yearn for circumstances to unfold according to our personal preference. This came out in the last reading. Yet to trust in divine timing alleviates stress and fosters a more peaceful relationship with the universe itself. Even the right thing cannot attain fruition at the wrong time. A negative cycle is due to end and a new dawn shall rise. Yeah, so it's interesting because it's talking about something that has happened, a circumstance that happened, that trust in the divine timing alleviates the stress. Maybe there's something that you have yet to let go of, or it's not letting go in a time that is manageable. It says, do not allow negative thought or speech to undermine your inner spiritual connection. Claim your voice and your power to express yourself from the heart. Though it may not yet be visible in your physical world, a new order is generating within the soul. It is time, and in time it shall manifest in a transformation that heals your inner world and improves your physical life and circumstances. So they both kind of say this same thing, is that something is unfolding right now, and it's asking you to trust in the thing that's unfolding. And it could very well be the thing that you're grieving over. It could very well be that thing that it's asking you to, to really allow yourself to grieve. So let's find out, what do we need to let go of here as we call in the dragon energy? Wow, those really flew out. Yeah, so the swords, the dragon swords. So I'm feeling like there are things that were said that, because the sword energy to me is around communication, it's around air energy, it's around having the ability to cut through something. And so there, and look at all this blue energy that's coming in here. This is the Ice Bringer and the Brat. So perhaps there is some aspect that there were words that were said that brought on like this coldness in a relationship, and you're just, you just can't see eye to eye on the thing. And it's really broken your heart because it's like torn your world apart on some level. It's torn maybe family, friends, something like that. And it's created this toxic soup that is not letting anything move. And it's asking you not to push against the thing that's happening, but you do have to mourn like what was. Like, allow yourself, because you're trying maybe not to feel. You're trying, you're up here in your head, but you're not allowing your body to really let go of the thing that's really been a negative cycle is due to end and a new dawn shall arise. So something that's really impacted your life and created this discord. Look at this dragon in the soup. They're, standing here with his arms crossed, not leaving, not budging. And this person is like, they're at odds. They're just staring at each other and nothing is happening. And even though they're in the soup, they're heating up. They don't even know that this is toxic for them. This is a bad situation. And it's asking, this situation to be able to let go. But some people just can't let things go to their demise. And it creates, that's what I'm feeling like, words and actions. What's creating is kind of a stalemate and an icy energy. in the situation that you're in. So let's see. We're going to ask the energy here from the spirit mamas. What are we? So I think this is what we're letting go of. And let's see what the next card, if it's going to bring out more about what we need to let go of or what we need to bring in. Let's see. Yeah, be in the heart to receive. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down here because this feels like Mother Mary energy coming in here. And this is this blue energy again. And this divine, like this is a harsher blue, an icy blue. And this is a very warm blue that kind of feels like a beautiful sunny day blue. And being in the heart and allowing you to receive, allowing the tears to come, the tears to be shed, which I think is really what needs to happen here, is I feel like you just need a nurturing energy. And that's what's coming in for you, is like this divine feminine energy that's going to allow you to feel like you're being nurtured in some way. So let's go to the dragon energy and find out what's coming in for us when we let go of all of this like toxicity around this event that happened in your life. Yeah. Look at that. So this is very similar energy as well, the lovers. This is the ability either within this situation, because you have green and purple, or sorry, like a blue-green and a purpley energy. It's like marrying this energy here and this energy here of love, right? When you shed the tear that needs to be tear and you let go of whatever this stalemate is, whatever that, just allow it to let go. And it says, we may yearn for circumstances to unfold according to our personal preference, yet trust in divine timing. So it's saying that whatever, you just need to let go of control here, because this is a stalemate. There is no control. Not one person is willing to budge in a situation. It just creates more stress. When this is dropped and you're needing to like be in that situation at all, or feeling the need to control that situation, when you let all that go, circumstances will improve. Literally, it says here in this card, transformation that heals your inner world and improves your physical life too. Sometimes when we feed this negative energy, it just keeps us in that space. And what we really want is the energy to be gone. But to drop the reins of it is actually what we need to do, right? And so let's go to the journey card and see what is coming in for us right now for reading number 3. Okay, that's way too many cards. So let's just see what it has to say. Introspection. So one of the things, I feel like this is going to go up here, because in introspection, it's allowing us to like let go of this, but to go in. This is like the beginning stages of being able to let this go and to recognize our part in whatever it was, whatever the thing was. It didn't happen on its own without 2 different or 3 different, without different energies coming in. It couldn't have happened. So there's a need for introspection to come in and change. So I'm going to say that this is going to change here when you realize what you did that helped feed this whole thing, and then change the way you feel about that. So this is the thing that needs to let go. When you do that, it's also asking you, the steps to go forward is to set up new boundaries. Like if this was a really toxic thing between family or friends or something, set up the boundaries so it doesn't have the opportunity to be that way again. And then it's asking you to create a new day. It's like you can be in this like negative energy. Let's see if I can bring it down here. You can stay in this negative energy, but it's not really serving you, right? You have an opportunity. Set up your boundaries, like let this drop. Realize that you had some part in it. Even if you feel like somebody did something to you, there was some energy present in you to allow that thing to happen. Even if you didn't say anything and you feel like somebody just really went at you, there was some aspect that was there to teach you something. So let it all go and find out what energy within you can let go to change your attachment to it. Be in the heart, forgive whatever it was that happened. And really, when you forgive, it allows something new to come in. Set up clear boundaries so you feel protected in your own circumstances. Let go of what the old stuff with. When you have these clear boundaries, it's going to create this loving energy that is going to help purify the thing and allow you to cry. When this is allowed to release, it's like this feels like the mountain, like a mountain has been created out of something that isn't going to end just because you desire it to end. It's like you have to literally like let it go. And when you do that, the tears can come down and you can be blessed on some level, like the divine feminine truly wants to bless this energy. So let's ask for animals, like, hello animals. What? Ooh, wow, that's a lot of animals. You're getting a lot of cards here. Okay. So yeah, you see clearly now. So that's what happens is when you like remove your energy, this is like stuff that keeps you like all caught up in, you know, there's people out there that can keep you roped into situations and really just push your buttons because they need the energy to keep it going. And it's their way of staying in a relationship with you, no matter how bad it is. So this is saying that once you realize your own involvement, you change the way you need to relate to it, allow these things to open, of course, set up clear boundaries, but you can create a new day and allows clarity in your life. So we so we have life is a mystery, be playful and be at home. So this energy here is this figure 8 energy around the bobcat spirit is inviting you to know that this happened for a reason. I mean, you may not ever really know really why it happened, but the energy around it is there to help you to let go of some old energies and to change something. So as toxic as this feels like it was, it's allowing you to cry, to open up your heart, to when you let go of the old energies, it likes it. The tears will purify you to step into new energy, new day. So you don't have to know every aspect as to why it happened. Life is a mystery, be playful. And then I think you'll finally start being at home in who you are, right? There's an element that I feel like is really, this is, you know, it's a beautiful energy with Wombat Spirit. So let's get an closure to your reading with some tarot cards. Yeah. So this again, this is this energy up here. This is that 8 energy. Like life is a mystery. You can see clearly what your involvement is. This is like this introspection card. These are words that were said or communication. There is an ability for you to finally see what like kept you all tied up in this circumstance, but you have to really go in and look at your own element. Yeah. So, and this card was upside down. So this is that overthinking card. And so this is the thing to let go of. This is what's going to change is if you stay in this spirit of overthinking, this is what the new energy is coming in, is the letting go of this. You see that? All right. So let's see. Ooh. Oh my gosh, that's way too much. But let's take a look at some of them. The first card that revealed is the Magic, right? And that's pretty much what this energy is creating a new day. The Magician is the number 1 card, and it's all about taking everything that you've learned and creating something new. Again, this figure 8 energy, which now we've got all this 8 energy around. You don't have to know the reason that everything happened. Creating this new way of being creates the Queen of Pentacles, which is really being okay with who you are, what you are, and being in your own power, being in a seat where you feel like you're at home with who you are. You don't have to have anybody react in any way. It's just you sitting in your truth and in your space. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. And this is around family, around money, around job, those things. And this is all going to be resolved. Something is coming to an end here, which is creating the stability, the having everything that you've always wanted, possibly bringing in like new information. This is the Page of Cups, which As you can see here, he's dreaming and wishing of something that is outside of himself. But it's an opportunity for you to really evaluate what it is that you want. So that's the other aspect of this. It's asking you to take a look. Let me see if I can move some of these cards down a little bit. It's asking you to take a look at what it is that you want. Now that you've let go of some of this old toxic energy, what's the new energy that you can bring into the situation? And this is about seeing it from a new perspective, right? So you're in a space where you can look at what you want to bring in. You've changed your attitude about something and created a new perspective. The Four of Pentacles is around being able to hold the things, like feeling security. Again, that's what we were feeling like with this Be at Home card. It's new security. And then the Queen of Wands, just like the Queen of Pentacles, having security in who you are and knowing like your creative outlet, your creative passions, your energy. And then we have two cards here around the nine. The Nine of Wands is around the ending of an old energy, finally reaching the end of something that has taken a lot of your energy, and then stepping into your divine knowing and will. And so this was a lot of cards. I wasn't expecting all of this, but as you can see, the energy, whatever this toxic soup was that you were kind of caught into, and I think it was something very big, it's time to look at it, let it go, see what your involvement is. Don't think that it was all somebody else's fault. There was some element about you that drew the situation to you, even if you didn't fuel the fire. Set up new boundaries. It's a new day. Create, cry, look at where you're going in a new way and step into this new energy, because you are so close to where you want to go, but you need to let go of this old stuff before you get there. So thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear what you thought about the reading. And if you have a question for our Q&A that I'm putting together in a reading that is coming up, we'll see how many questions we get and when we get them. And until then, I hope you have a magical day. Bye now.